In the vast, sun-scorched plains of northern Tanzania, where the winds whisper through the acacia trees and the land remains untouched by modern civilization, lives one of the world's last true hunter-gatherer tribes, the Hadzabe. The Hadzabe people, estimated to be fewer than 1,500 in number, have called the dry lands around Lake Eyasi home for tens of thousands of years. Their way of life is ancient, rooted in the deep traditions of a time long before agriculture, industry, or even the written word. They live off the land, hunting wild animals, foraging for berries, tubers, and honey, guided not by calendars or clocks, but by the rhythm of nature itself. But who are the Hadzabe? And what makes their customs, especially their unique way of hunting and sharing food, so deeply fascinating? Let's journey into their world. The Hadzabe are not just a tribe. They are a living window into the prehistoric past of humanity. Genetic studies show that the Hadzabe may be one of the oldest bloodlines on Earth. Unlike most African tribes, their language, a click-based tongue known as Hadzane, has no direct relation to neighboring Bantu or Nilotic languages. It is a language isolate, ancient, and untraceable. They have no chiefs, no hierarchy, no written rules. Decisions are made communally. Respect is earned not by power, but by contribution, through hunting, sharing, and wisdom. Every morning before the heat becomes unbearable, Hadza men pick up their handmade bows and poisoned arrows and disappear into the bush. The hunt is not just about food. It is a demonstration of skill, patience, and understanding of the land. The Hadzabe hunt a variety of animals, from small birds and monkeys to warthogs and antelopes. They walk for hours barefoot, tracking animal prints, reading the wind, and listening for sounds that would go unnoticed by the untrained ear. Their bows are carved from local trees and strung with giraffe tendon. The arrows, often tipped with poison from the desert rose plant, ensure a quick and clean kill. The hunt is silent, focused, spiritual. But what happens after the kill is perhaps even more remarkable. Unlike many modern societies where possession and ownership dominate, the Hadzabe live by a radical ethic of sharing. When a man returns from the hunt, he does not hoard his catch. There is no selling, no trading. Instead, the meat is brought back to camp and shared with everyone. Men, women, children, elders, even those who did not go hunting receive a share. There is no shame in not hunting. There is only shame in not sharing. Around the fire, they roast the meat on sticks, laughing, talking, telling stories of the chase. Children nibble pieces of liver. Elders receive the softest cuts. No one is left out. This deep communal bond, this sense of we before me, is one of the most defining aspects of Hadzabe life. While the men hunt, the women gather. Hadzabe women walk through the thorny savanna in groups, babies on their backs, digging up wild roots and tubers with wooden sticks, picking baobab fruit, or climbing trees to collect honey from high branches. Honey is sacred to the Hadzabe. It is a prized food, rich in energy and taste. Sometimes they collaborate with a bird called the honey guide, which literally leads them to hidden hives in exchange for a small share of wax. This partnership between human and bird, based on mutual trust, is one of nature's most astonishing relationships. As the women return to camp, the gathered food is also shared freely, added to the common pot. Everyone eats, not as individuals, but as a group, a tribe. The Hadzabe may not have temples or books of scripture, but their connection to the spiritual world runs deep. At night, under the wide African sky, the Hadzabe sing around fires. They play rhythms using handmade instruments, chant ancestral songs, and perform dances that mimic the movement of animals and spirits. Death, birth, marriage, these are not marked with official rituals but with song, story, and togetherness. There is no concept of wealth or material accumulation. To the Hadzabe, to give is to live. To share is to survive. But even this resilient tribe is not immune to the creeping reach of the modern world. Land encroachment, climate change, and pressure from agricultural expansion threaten their way of life. Some Hadzabe are tempted or even forced into settlements, losing their independence and their ancestral lands. Tourism brings both attention and disturbance. While some efforts are made to protect them, the balance is fragile. The Hadzabe face a difficult path between preservation and adaptation, between tradition and survival. As we rush through our lives, staring into screens, chasing profits, and drowning in possessions, what can we learn from the Hadzabe? Perhaps the lesson is simple, that there is wisdom in simplicity. That food tastes better when shared. That life, when lived in harmony with nature and others, becomes more than just survival. It becomes community. The Hadzabe remind us that humanity didn't begin with concrete, electricity, or technology. It began with fire, with laughter, with hunting and gathering, with looking out for one another. And maybe, just maybe, in remembering them, we remember a part of ourselves that we've lost.